ourselves. Here now is author Allan Wright, who has written a book, a fascinating book called The Bible's Best Love Stories. And everybody loves to read a good love story. Loves to read a good love story. Welcome, Allan.
Well, thank you for having me, not only to read love stories, but just the number of songs that are out there about love. A friend of mine said there are over 14,000 songs with the word love in the title, sort of as opposed to the songs with the word work in the title. We sing about what we love and what love is, so I'm sure songs come to our heads even as we say it right now, but like you said, the Bible has some of the best love stories that are out there.
You know, one of the things that people kind of miss in the Bible is that they think that God doesn't know anything about love, you know, or sexuality, we should say, sexual love. And the Song of Solomon is exactly that.
Well, let her kiss me with the kisses of my mouth. You know, the very opening, and some people are surprised to find that in the Bible, but yes, it is. And with that story, the Song of Songs or Song of Solomon, there's no mention of the Torah, no mention of the law, Yahweh, and yet it's God communicating in a way that you and I, as human beings, know how to communicate, to totally, fully, faithfully give ourselves to one another. And so often God uses that language of our own experience to communicate what he means by love.
And it's actually quite steamy. There's a minister down in Texas named Tommy Nelson who does a sermon series on the Song of Songs, the Song of Solomon, about God's plan for dating, marriage, and courtship. And he said he was giving that to a group of young people, and he was reading some of the more steamy sections out of the Song of Songs, and he saw one of these guys in the audience go,
is this the Holy Bible, or what Bible do I have here? Yeah.
But what does it tell us about God's idea about love?
It tells us that we are created to love and to be loved. You know, that nothing attracts like love. Love and you will win every heart. So said Blessed Pauline von Mallinckrodt, the founder of the Sisters of Christian Charity. And through God's way of describing to us, whether it's through Adam and Eve, that they were designed, created in and of their bodies to give themselves to one another. Or the great story of Joseph in the Old Testament who forgives his brothers. What a beautiful expression of that love that we see. And in Hebrew there are three key words that speak about love. And the first word is hav, or ahava. And the root word of that is to give. So ahab is I give to you. I serve, I sacrifice. Another word is a feminine word, and that's rahamim. And the very root of that word comes from the word womb. And it's really the love between a mother and a child. That bond that God is using, that language, that expression, to reveal to us his love for us.
You know, in our society, when we think of love, we think of erotic love. You know, C.S. Lewis wrote about the four loves.
You may. I don't.
But I mean, we forget that, you know, there sometimes romantic love. But in your book, you talk about the great love stories, and I'm thinking, oh, Samson and Delilah, Adam and Eve. But you also mentioned David and Jonathan.
David and Jonathan.
And Ruth and Naomi. I mean, love between two of the same sex, but not in a sexual way, but in a love that is so pure and so giving.
Yeah.
And explain these loves and how we can interpret those.
Great. When I started reading the story of David and Jonathan and writing about it, obviously we just celebrated the remembrance of 9/11 and those firefighters, the police who sacrificed for one another. Or any athlete who's involved in the sports team could tell you that, you know what, you're on my team. Somebody hurts you, I'm going to get that guy.
Yeah.
I'm a big hockey fan, and so, you know, if somebody gets your star player, I'm going to be there for you. And that type of really manly love that is exemplified by Jonathan, that he leaves his robe, his sword, because the throne could be his. And yet he recognizes David as the Lord's anointed. And so that, you know what, I choose to follow you because you follow God.
And it's non-sexual. It's just a
non-sexual.
Because in the Bible, if you read it through the sort of filter of a modern-day culture, and you see David saying, and the Bible saying, David loved Jonathan as himself.
And greater than a love for a woman. And, you know, and even in the research and literature, you know, the sexual connotation that perhaps it was homosexual does not even enter into any of the documentation until the 1940s. So again, for the last couple of millennia, we've understood this love as really a service, sacrificial, and following God, and really casting our lot with our brothers and sisters who follow God.
Now, what is the greatest love story in the Bible that you can think of that really is?
You know what? There really are so many that are out here, but one that sort of really captured my imagination was in the Old Testament, the story of Abigail and David.
You know, that's not one that you actually think about.
And it's not the one that immediately came to
Abigail and David. Wait a second, is that in the Bible?
That's in the Bible, and but David had to learn a lesson that before he could be king and ruler of Israel, that he needed to let God be king and ruler of his own heart. And this simple, humble woman, who's known not only for her physical beauty, but David's first thoughts are of God. That she is a woman who, through her demeanor, through her actions, through her words, through having what I would say a missionary mindset of taking the initiative in going out and meeting David where he was at, and then turning his heart toward God. I think that's a lesson that David learned and kept and was able to take with him as he was about to be anointed of Israel. And that's the type of love that we see God incarnating in our life, sending love not so much in words, because words can fall short, but through the encounter with Jesus Christ.
Who is Abigail?
The beautiful name Abigail means my father is my joy. The name of my youngest daughter, who's 10 months, so a little shout out there. But
Abigail, that's the new name. Abigail, my father is my joy. Yeah.
And but again, a woman that was married to a man named Nabal, who was sort of a nasty person, and yet even in the midst of that relationship, we can see character revealed through certain instances and examples throughout the Bible and in our own lives as well. In times of a crisis, we can see people saying yes in small, significant ways. And finding love, and maybe I don't have the words to say love, but like in the story of the Good Samaritan, there's no eros, philios, or agape mentioned in the text, and yet that story does personify what love is, putting the other at a great, costly demonstration of unexpected love.
Wow. Another thing that I didn't see this in here. I'm not sure if it was David and Bathsheba. That's a totally different kind of love. Was that more about lust than love?
I think it was, and just in so many opportunities where David could have made the right choice to do the right thing.
This is the wrong love.
This is the wrong type of love. Or even Adam and Eve, we see in that story of the garden 3 key words which I think define that story, and that's sin, pride, and Lucifer. And if you put those 3 words one on top of the other, the very middle of all 3 of those words is the letter I. So really the heart of sin is, I don't care about you, I don't care about God, this is what I want.